Have you taken a mental health day? Have you taken a mental health break? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, and today I am taking a mental health break, a mental health day. Have you ever done that before? Let me share with you all today the importance of that. As you all know, that I have redesigned the channel, and we are living life by design. And in this season of our lives, we are on what I call a healing journey. Now let me explain it to you guys, because I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding there. Just because we're on this healing journey does not mean that we are all sick. When you have a conscious awareness of the fact that things that you encounter on a daily basis can definitely affect your mental health, it is important to put it in the routine, just like you do other things. Like you have your regular routine, doctor appointments, you have to grocery shop, there's bills that you pay on schedule every month. Whatever those things that you have that are routinely done, your mental health is just as important as those things. Oftentimes, our mental health takes a back seat to everything else that we have going on. Recently, you guys know that I attended a workshop which is called the Exodus Summit. It's actually a summit, but I can't think of a good word to use for that. A conference, a workshop, a summit. And in that workshop or summit, I learned tools to help me to be better in my life, to give me freedom to be able to live my life and not be over exerted by the things that happen to me. One thing about me that you guys may not know, that I am a workaholic. And whatever I put my mind to, or whatever I have to do, I follow it through to the end to make sure that it's complete. I've done that my entire life, in every area of my life. And companies give you vacation time, they give you sick time, and I'm for the first time with a company that has PTO, which stands for paid time off. Never had that before. It's a little different. Not sure if I really like it or not, but that's what we have. And that time gives you the opportunity to do stuff like vacations, doctor's appointments, or just things that you have to take care of that you can't do because you're working within the normal business hours. And for a lot of people that have this paid time off, they never use it. And I've been with this company since I've moved home a little over a year, and the only time that I have used any of that time was for a vacation. I didn't ever think about I having a doctor's appointment. I always worked around the doctor's, my time off. Like if I had a vacation, I would do those within that time. Versus looking at it like this should be a whole day separate from my vacation. And I've done that the whole year. And I feel a sense of guilt whenever I decide that I need that. You guys know I have responsibilities with my family, with my mom, and there are things that we have to do for her. And I'm always either missing out on those things that we have to do, or I come later, instead of saying, let me take this day to devote that to whatever I need to do. So in your life, in your season, this mature age, we have to learn how to balance work and our lives. And it's important that you know that, and that it's okay for you to take a moment. Having coffee this morning, and it's beautiful, it's early, it's probably about 8 o'clock now. And I felt a sense of guilt for feeling like that was something that I need to do for me. And on my healing journey, it is important for me to prioritize me, You know, I come from a traditionally long history of strong women who did nothing but work. As far back as I can remember, the women in my family worked. I remember my grandmother, and this is the grandmother on my father's side. She was a nanny slash housekeeper, maid, whatever. And she took care of 2 children on the mountain, Lookout Mountain, for years. For years. Those kids knew her like I knew her. And when my grandmother passed away, and they had the funeral, when we made the announcement to them that my grandmother had passed and they came down to visit, those children grieved harder than I could see my siblings and I grieving. I was like this because she meant so much to them. But my grandmother never took a day off. She was always working, 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 working. And she was in that household more hours than she was in her own. And that passed down from generation to generation. So I recognize in this season of my mature life that I got to take time to pay attention to me, mind, body, and spirit, in order to have a healthy overall well-being. It's important for you to do that. And I know that I'm a little bit eccentric. I think about that sometimes. I say my videos are not the most trendiest videos because they don't follow trends. A lot of channels here on YouTube that are very popular are channels that do the same things that everybody watches. And mine is off the beaten path a little bit. And for a long time, I tried to fit that into that trend of being trending. And I recognize now that those who watch the content I have are those people who need what I give. So I'm okay with that. But I wanted to remind you that in your busy schedules, in your life with grandchildren, children, taking care of parents, it is important that you make sure that you are well balanced. Physically, that means you're doing things to make sure you're good here, internally as well. In your mind, making sure you're healthy there, your emotions, you making sure that when those days that you feel that it's just a little much, that you give yourself some quiet time, some space to kind of settle down, to relax, learn what resting really is. Resting is not all about sleeping, but it's being still, pausing, being, enjoying the nature that God gave us that helps us to be able to center and relax. Yesterday I took a day and I went to the park. I created some content while I was there, but this park is humongous. And I walked amongst the big, huge pine trees. The sun was just like on fleek, shining and beaming above. The leaves were in the ground. The water was beautifully blue. And I walked, and the breeze was nice against my skin. And I took that time for me, because I sometimes feel myself becoming overwhelmed with life, because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to help here, trying to help there. And sometimes you have to tell people in your life, I need a break, I need a moment. Because if you don't, eventually it will become a weight. It will become overwhelming. And oftentimes when we get to that point, there are some health challenges at that point, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically. So make sure that you are checking in with you. If you've had a long, hard week, at the end of that week, check in with yourself. See how you're doing. See how you're feeling. See how your body feels, how your mind is feeling. Are you tired? Are you overexerted? When I feel like I want to separate from people, where I don't want to have company, I don't want to entertain, I don't want to go out, that's my indication that I need a little bit of a break. I've done a lot, and it's time for me to just focus on taking care of me. And that's really, really important. So, mental health days does not mean that you're ill, does not mean you're crazy. Your healing journey does not mean that you're sick. it is being proactive versus being reactive. And we need that in life. So thank you all for watching this morning. I've started decorating. I put my tree up. I have not decorated it, but I turned the tree on to make sure the lights were still working. Y'all know last year was the first time I bought a full-length tree when I christened my home when I moved here. And my daughter inspired me to put up my tree because she's fully decorated. And I said, you know, with all of the things that are happening within the world, being able to feel festive in things that bring you joy, put you in a good mood, make you smile and laugh, because I love seeing my grandchildren when they're happy and smiling, and they were just jumping and our tree, and just being excited about the season. I came home and I said, let me put up my tree. So I don't know when I'm going to decorate it, but it's up early. But that gave me a little bit of a rise today to come in and turn the tree on, see the lights, and say, this is the season of joy, because this is usually the time when people are a little bit more loving, a little bit more caring, a little bit more giving, a little bit more happy, even though they can be Scrooges as well. But this does kind of evoke that season of joy. So I thought maybe it would be great to do that to pick me up. So I want to thank my daughter for teaching me about that mental health day. She does it with her kids all the time. When they are being overwhelmed, they take a mental health day and they do things that are fun, things that they love. So make sure you're checking in with yourself. And I thank you all for watching. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe. If you're just watching today and have not subscribed, thumbs up the video, throw me in the algorithms, help me to trend and reach those who need this content. And for my returning followers and subscribers, I love you all so much, and I appreciate all of the comments, all of the support that you give me each and every video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Remember, I love you. Peace. I'll see you next time.